welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have a new pick a card reading all about who you truly are. So if you are kind of curious like what your soul might want to tell you, or if you're even just curious like your soul's purpose, your callings, who you really are on a deeper inner soul level, that is going to be the topic of today's video. So I'm very excited to get into it. If you are new here, I read the tarot cards and the oracle cards to bring information for your highest good. I connect with angels and spirits of 100% pure white light to, again, bring you information that is for your highest good. And excuse me, this topic is all about who you truly are, and the way that it works is I have 4 different groups in front of me, and you are going to use your intuition to pick one of these 4 groups. The way that you tap into your intuition is a very quick but subtle force. So maybe when you saw the thumbnail, you felt attracted to one of these 4 piles, or maybe when you clicked on it, there's one that just stood out to you amongst the rest. Maybe you felt more magnetized towards one of them, and that is your intuition speaking to you. So that would be your group. And then there's timestamps linked down below in the comment box, as well as the description box, so that you can easily navigate through this video and skip right ahead to your personal reading all about who you truly are. If you are having a hard time visually tapping into the piles, another little method that you can use is you can take your hand and just glide it over each of the piles, just sensing what kind of energy you feel as you go over each of them. Maybe one of the piles is again going to stand out amongst the rest. Maybe one of them you're going to feel a sort of magnetic pull towards. Maybe you're going to get a hot or cold sensation, or one of them is just going to seem significant or different to you. So again, those are the 2 different ways that I'd recommend tapping into your intuition, either visually or by gliding your hand over each of the groups and waiting to see what you feel. And you can take as much time as you need. You can even pause the video if you would like, in order to, again, take as much time as you particularly need. But usually your intuition is very quick, so I recommend just going with that first initial instinct that you feel, because that is your intuition. And yeah, that is how today's video works. There's timestamps linked down below as always, so that you can easily navigate through this video. And if you would like a close-up of the crystals, I know some of you guys like to choose based on the crystals and you like to see close-ups of them, and let's go ahead and do the close-ups. So over on group number 1, we have this beautiful piece of Aqua Aura Quartz. So if you find yourself drawn to this crystal or to group number 1, then that is going to be your pile. Group number 2, we have this beautiful Angel Aura Quartz crystal. So if you find yourself drawn to this one or to group number 2, then that is going to be your pile. Then over on group number 3, we have this gorgeous piece of amethyst. And then on our last group, group number 4, we have this beautiful piece of citrine. So if you find yourself drawn to group number 4, or to the citrine, that is going to be your pile. So those are the 4 different options for today's video. And again, depending on which one you feel intuitively called towards, that's gonna be your reading. And I cannot wait to get into this one. This one's gonna be such a fun topic of just being able to tap into your energy and seeing what your soul would like you to know about who you truly are inside. And this will just help you get to know yourself better and all of that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, my group number 1s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading revealing who you are. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so beginning with our Astro dice, let's see who you truly are. My group 1, so we have Uranus in Aries in the 5th house. Ooh, you have a fun soul, let me tell you. You have a very fun soul. So the planet of Uranus is innovative, and it's also very unique. Being in Aries, you came here to be somebody who stands out and who is unique, especially being in the 5th house too. The 5th house is very connected to Leo energy, and it's very connected to creativity. And it can also be where we unlock a lot of our passions. So who you truly are, my group number ones, you are somebody who's not meant to fit into the regular crowd. You are meant to stand out. You are meant to be unique. You might even notice that you tend to be like kind of different from most people, and maybe you even went through like an awkward stage at some point in your life, and perhaps at times you've felt awkward, or you felt like you don't fit in, or you felt like you're maybe misunderstood in certain ways because your energy is so unique, but you came here to be unique. And the amazing thing about it is you are more of like a trendsetter than somebody who follows trends. And the like Uranus being in Aries right here, you are also meant to be somebody who just does things their own way because you're so creative, because you're so unique. You really came here to be somebody who's different. You might like even feel like a rebel at times. Like sometimes this is like a bit of rebel energy, or we just notice that we have different interests than most people and we're more unconventional. We're not interested in the same kind of lifestyle that most people live. Like I just feel like you're the type of person, if somebody was to throw you into like a very set routine, a very normal, regular life, you would probably feel very misput, and it would probably make you sad and feel out of alignment. And if you are living a life that feels that way, it's because your soul literally came here to stand out. Your soul came here to be creative, to be unique, and that's who you are truly on the inside, is just this super unique soul who came here for standing out and being more of a trendsetter rather than the person who follows the trends. You came here for all of that. You know, the uniqueness and all of that. So let's see what else we get for you here. We also have the 3 of Wands being reversed. So when this card comes up reversed, I almost wonder if you've gone through periods in your life where you felt like you didn't fit in, or that you had to like break. Ooh, you're here, by the way, to break like old barriers, old structures, old traditions that just don't work or don't fit in society. Like who you're meant to be and who you truly are on the inside is somebody who's meant to help other people have breakthroughs rather than staying stuck, because like you're here to really expand people's vision, expand what's possible. And that's why we have that card reversed. And you might have even had times in your life where you felt stuck or trapped, but that was like part of your divine growth to help you realize like what's important and to help you realize who you are, because you felt probably uncomfortable by those things. You felt uncomfortable by the stuck structures, and you don't feel good when you're staying in one spot doing the same thing over and over again. Like you don't like that. And 3 of Wands being reversed, you feel stuck when you cannot expand or do things that are different, or like if you are restricted from exploring new things, I feel like you get anxious or even sad, or you just don't feel, again, in alignment with who you are. You are an explorer at heart, an explorer by nature. I feel like these 2 cards want to come out. Yeah, oh my goodness, we have so many wand cards. Oh, that one like almost wanted to turn upright. That's interesting. So there is a little bit of like spotlight energy for you too coming through, and this energy of being like a trendsetter, this energy of being like vibrant and expressive, and perhaps going through something to help you believe in yourself. Like there's an energy here from Spirit that's really wanting you to believe in yourself more and to spread your light more. Because I'm almost feeling too, with the Sun card being reversed, like you're kind of meant to spread your light But maybe perhaps there's a mix, an interesting mix that you have where perhaps part of you also likes being a little bit introverted, but there's also this interesting aspect of you that loves to express. But the way that you express yourself is more in the creative ways, more in the ways of expressing your passions, rather than doing it so much in a extroverted type of way. I hope that's making sense. I feel like that's also why we have these ones reversed, is like you're very deep and internal at times, but at the same time you have so much creativity and so much light to express. So it's almost this interesting like juxtaposition where, yeah, it's like, maybe I want to call you an ambivert, because there's aspects of you that are extroverted when it comes to your creativity, when it comes to your uniqueness, when it comes to like really standing out. There's like an extroverted quality there. But at the same time, and maybe you even feel called to be in the spotlight at times, but on top of that, there's also this quality that's a little bit more introverted as well, that's a little bit more internal and deep. So you have this interesting combination. And then we also have Six of Wands. Yeah, you might also have this calling to like be successful in some way. And your soul actually, like, it's interesting. It's like you like the spotlight, but at the same time, there's an introverted quality to you too. Isn't that such an interesting juxtaposition? Perhaps when you're being creative and all of that, and when you're going through deep, like learning and just exploring your passions, perhaps there's a more introverted quality to that side of you. But then again, at the same time, there's also a side of you that does really enjoy the spotlight and being able to express and being able to show off like your work and who you are and what you've done. So you have this really nice mix. And I also feel like you're really good when you do need to be in the spotlight. It's like you're really good at doing that, but then you're also really good at being internal. So wow, you have like a really cool balance, I just want to say. And let's dive into some more cards here. I also feel like you are really good at being social, but then you do need times of recharging. Like, oh my goodness. Yes, that more like introverted self does need time to recharge. We also have, you are also a very like dedicated person. I feel like once you dedicate to something, once you commit to something, you are there. You also really enjoy people who keep their promises, people who are committed, because commitment is something that I feel like is very important to you. And once you decide on something, you're kind of like all in, and maybe you expect other people to be that way too, because that's something that I think you really much value. We also have nurturer. Another aspect of who you are is somebody who's incredibly caring. You care a lot about other people. And I also feel like you're really devoted to helping make other people's dreams happen too. And you might notice in life that whenever you meet somebody who has certain ambitions, you almost just feel called to help them create it and do it. And you're also being called to do that for yourself too. So you might feel that balance of energy of really wanting to make your own dreams happen, but then also I feel like you're really caring when it comes to other people and helping them as well. And you might feel really called and committed to doing that as part of your life purpose, is helping other people, making connections with other people and really helping them make their dreams a reality too. That's something that I feel like is important to you. But also with this card, I do feel like you're incredibly creative and you love thinking of ideas and making them happen. You are so creative in that sense. Like, I feel like you're a visionary. Like, if you have a vision that you want to bring to life, you are so inspired to do that and create that. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you are like artists or even business owners or visionaries in some way, where you really like to take concepts. You really like to use your imagination and your creativity and then create something with it. That's what I'm really getting here. Some of you might also really be called to start a family. That also might be another aspect where you feel really successful and really amazing about having a family or starting a family. That is another aspect of this card. However, a lot of the times nurture can also be interpreted as just your creativity. So whatever side of the spectrum that you're on, I also want to point out that this card does indicate also being a parent and birthing children into this world. And that also might be part of like deeply who you are. You might really enjoy nurturing things, nurturing pets, nurturing plants, having a garden, helping things grow, helping things flourish, which would also make you a really good parent. So you do have that inner quality of really having a knack for helping things flourish. So let's see more about who you truly are. We also have pause. This is bringing more of that introverted aspect out. So there is that introverted aspect of you. There's also a deep, like thoughts, mindfulness, observe, respond versus react. You're a very mindful, deep thinker. A very mindful, deep thinker. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people come to you for advice because you tend to think about things in such a unique way, in such a deep way, that maybe you were even told growing up that you were more mature than most people your age. The reason being is because you're so reflective and you catch on to things really quick. It's like you don't really need to be taught something. You could easily be self-taught so easily. And in fact, I do feel like you've been self-taught in a lot of things in your life because it's just easy for you to grasp onto things, to learn things really quickly because again, you're so deep, you're reflective, you're a deep thinker. So yeah, because of that, I feel like you're really good at learning and also much more mature for your age, and people really like to come to you for wisdom and for advice. And let's see, what else do we have? We also have feel emotions and breath coming through. So another aspect of this card, I do feel like you're empathic. You probably can feel what other people feel quite easily, which makes you really relate to others pretty easily. So when it comes to, and that's probably why you're such a good nurturer too, because you can understand people and you can understand what they're going through, what their problems are. It's like you have a knack at connecting to other people. Perhaps it's really easy for you to make friends. And maybe for you, you're someone who can almost make friends with anyone. Whereas maybe some of the other people that you've known are a little bit more cliquey or a little bit more niche when it comes to who they get along with. Whereas for you, I feel like you're quite empathic. It's like you can feel what others feel, therefore you're much more easily able to connect with almost anybody. So that's really coming through. We also have breath, return to breath, calm the mind. Breath is life. So another thing, I feel like you have this nurturing, calming energy where if somebody is going through something, you have a really good way of helping them calm down. I also feel like you've had to learn through your life how to like calm your own emotions. Ooh. I'm also getting that people feel really comforted to be around you. There's like, you have this magical touch or magical energy. And I feel like you're going to hear about that a lot more as you get older, that you just have this sort of like essence about you that calms people down. And maybe you get a lot of like friends that call you if they're going through a hard time because they just love your advice and they love how calming you are, and they love how you're able to kind of bring them to a much more balanced state. So you're really good at doing that as well. And let's go into our archetype cards here and let's see. There's like one that, hold on a second. There we go. So let's see what your archetype is that is coming through. Ooh, So we have two cards. We have Shapeshifter and we have the Father card. So definitely parent energy is coming through. So I don't know if some of you have a deep desire to be a parent or if that's just going to be something in your life that comes through. But the archetype for you is the talent for creating and supporting life. Positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So you're really good at being a leader actually too. You have some leadership energy, even though you might feel like an introvert at times, to where maybe you question like, oh, am I really a leader? I'm kind of just unique. But yeah, you have this leadership energy, especially with that Aries quality coming through too. And then we also have Shapeshifter as your other archetype. So the skill at navigating through different levels of consciousness, ability to see the potential in everything. Ooh, maybe that's also why people really love talking to you and getting your opinions, because you have the ability to see the potential in everything. And perhaps that's also why you really like nurturing and helping other people bring their dreams to life, because you're really able to see the potentials within people, within their ideas, and you can really inspire people to like step up into their greatness. And yeah, Shapeshifter is also giving me this energy like you're able to fit into almost any environment, which makes total sense with the Uranus energy that we had coming up too. You're really able to fit in anywhere. You have such a unique quality where you're able to fit into like any environment, anywhere. And that is the basics of who you are, my group ones. Wow, you are such a unique soul, such an innovator. And wow, like really able to just fit in wherever you are, to be such a nurturer, and such good energy from you. So yeah, embrace your uniqueness, because that is like your biggest, that's your biggest unique quality about you, or that the biggest aspect of your soul is that your soul is unique. So embrace your uniqueness. Don't try to fit in if you ever feel pushed to fit in. Like, just don't, because you're so unique. And it's interesting that you chose the Aqua Aura Quartz and that I put Aqua Aura Quartz on this group, because it's all about expression and creativity. So it's no wonder that I ended up putting it on your group. And then our last couple messages here, we have, I listen to my intuition and it never leads me astray. You have a very powerful intuition, so yes. Then we also have, if not now, then when? There's a message for taking action. Then we also have, trust is a muscle. Allow yourself to let go and know that what is coming, that what is meant for you is coming. Oh, I don't know why I read that backwards, but yeah. Trust is a muscle. Allow yourself to let go and know that what is meant for you is coming. So those are the last couple messages just from Spirit, the little oracle cards, and your messages from Spirit to end us off for today's reading, all about who you truly are deep down inside. So thank you so much for joining me here. I'm sending you so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number twos. If you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading all about who you truly are. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so starting off with your Astro Dice, let's see who you truly are. So we have Saturn in Capricorn in the 9th house. So Saturn is the planet of traditions. It's also the planet of structure and getting things done, and really it is a bit more of a serious planet. And then being in Capricorn too, this is like holding us to a high standard. I feel like you're somebody who has higher standards, or at least you like to hold yourself to a higher standard. You like growth. You like being able to get things done and maybe be productive in some kind of way. And the 9th house is very philosophical, and it's also very, like, it likes to learn new things. It's very into learning. I feel like you are somebody, group number twos, you like to learn. You like to, like, knowledge is something that's going to be really important to you this lifetime. Knowing things, having a wealth of knowledge. Perhaps you're also somebody who might go to school for a long time, or you might get a really high degree in something, or at the very least, you're kind of like a bookworm who likes to learn things on their own or even gain experiences through travel. There's also a teacher energy associated with the ninth house. So there is possibly an aspect of you that really wants to help spread wisdom and spread knowledge, but you're also so deeply tied to learning as well, which also makes you such a great teacher, because the best teachers are the ones that are like never-ending learners and always have new things to bring to the table. So I definitely see you as somebody who might be a very high achiever this lifetime, especially with Saturn being in Capricorn and being in the ninth house. I feel like you might be somebody who's a very high achiever. And you might also be somebody who ends up traveling a lot, or at least gaining a lot of wisdom from a lot of different areas. You're deep. You like to learn. You like to implement that knowledge and grow and help others grow too with all the things that you know. So let's go ahead and see what else we get for you, my group twos. Wow, my learners. You're a really smart cookie. Let me just tell you that. You're gonna be somebody who I feel like you're not necessarily gonna fit in with everybody, because you're somebody who's a bit more structured and disciplined, and you like to know a lot. You like to know a lot. So yeah, and you're more deep. You're not like into the surface level kind of stuff. I feel like you could enjoy those things, but at the same time, there's an aspect of you that really craves more, and it craves expansion, and it craves just wisdom and growth. So let's see what else we have here for you, all about more of who you truly are. So we have the Queen of Pentacles being reversed. Ooh, I feel like you actually hold yourself to such a high standard sometimes that sometimes you can be hard on yourself, where there's a message from Spirit that you don't need to be so hard on yourself, okay? Because you're actually already so amazing. You already know so much. But maybe there's an aspect of you that feels like you don't know enough. Maybe there's an aspect of you that has imposter syndrome sometimes. But you are very like structured. You're very responsible. Maybe you even went through a time in your life where you weren't structured or responsible before, but perhaps there's something that's going to lead you to wanting to be more structured and responsible, because it's like you start realizing that the things that matter most to you is like growth, self-improvement, being able to teach others and help others grow and get to know the world more, and all those types of things. Again, I'm getting a high achiever type of energy. Like, you are not somebody who's going to settle for the average life. In fact, I feel like you are somebody who's going to always be chasing for more success. You might have a deep inner craving for like being successful and yeah, like gaining more in your life. We also have King of Swords. You have such a knack for learning. You have such a knack. You have such a deep mind. Like, wow. You are really intelligent, and when it comes to communication, you're actually really good at it. Even though at times I do feel like you might be your own worst critic, so possibly you even hearing certain things such as like, oh, you're smart, oh, you're a good communicator. You might be thinking like, no, I have so much room to improve in those areas. But no, it's like you really are. The fact that we have King of Swords coming up, you're such a good communicator, and you're such a good thinker too. Like, when it comes to solving problems, ooh, like you're the person to go to. When it comes to even psychology and understanding other people, ooh, you have such a knack for that. You have such a knack for that. You are really good at hearing communication, breaking down communication, really seeing into somebody's soul based on how they communicate. Like, you're really good at that. You're also extremely good at seeing whether or not somebody's lying or what their actual deeper motives are. You're so good at reading that. Like, oh, you're so good at reading other people and just understanding things. And also, again, with communication, you're really good at that. We also have the Seven of Cups coming through. You're able to see big picture things really easily. You're able to see the bigger picture. So when somebody comes to you with a lot of different ideas or a lot of different things, you're really good at seeing possibly like what the right actual path is. You're really good at giving advice for that. I also feel like you are somebody who likes to learn about so many different things. The Seven of Cups is somebody who has a multitude of different interests. And since we had Saturn being in the 9th house over here, yeah, 9th house is like multitude of interests. And you're possibly somebody who's going to have a lot of experience, like more than your average person. When it comes to your life experience, you're gonna have so many more stories to tell than the average person. So much more wisdom to share than your average person. It's almost like you could hop into almost any conversation and you would have something to say about that topic because you have such a broad range of interests. You're not just like a single-minded person. You have such a broad range of interests. But I also feel like you are really good at keeping yourself in check, whereas like other people might not be. Like this Saturn and Capricorn aspect also makes me feel like you're really good at self-control. You might not even give yourself credit for that, but I feel like you're actually much better at that than your average person. Like you're actually really good at staying disciplined, sticking to something if you say you're going to stick to it, staying committed. There is part of you that loves to dive into so many different things. You might be one of those people who juggles and multitasks a lot or jumps from one idea to another, but at the same time, there's this aspect of you that is very like committed and very responsible and very grounded at the same time. Then we also have the Nine of Wands coming through. You are also somebody who, and this might even be something that comes for you later in life, after you've gone through certain trials and tribulations, because the Nine of Wands is like somebody who's been through certain battles in life. And you are going to grow so much from those things. They're going to develop you into a very powerful and strong person to where you are going to have such clear boundaries where it's kind of like nobody could mess with you. And maybe you weren't always like that, because usually the Nine of Wands indicates that we go through certain lessons that develop us into this type of person. But you've always been like a pretty strong-minded person to begin with. But that's going to come out even more later in life where you just like people don't mess with you because you're going to say it like it is. And you have like strong boundaries that I also feel like people come to you asking like, how did you accomplish so much in life? How do you stay so dedicated? How did you learn so much in life? And you're almost going to be like, well, I was dedicated to it. I had boundaries. Like I took my life responsibly, but it's not saying that you're not fun. I do want to make that clear. You are also a very fun person because the 9th house is somebody who's very fun to be around. They also have so much like worldly wisdom that people having conversations with you, it's like so much fun to have a conversation with you because you can connect with a lot of different people on a lot of different topics. And you have so many experiences to share that people actually really like to hear what you know. They love to hear your experiences. They love to ask you questions. Like people love to learn about your life. I feel like people find your life very interesting. And you're also going to find that more and more as you get older and gain even more experiences. People just love to hear from you and hear about what are you learning now? What are you studying now? Oh, where did you recently just travel to and go? What was that experience like for you? It's like you're going to really kind of be this wealth of knowledge, this wealth of stories that people, again, just really like to connect with you about those things. We also have Three of Cups. So yes, you are also somebody who people really like to be around, and people really like to say that they know you, by the way. So, for example, your friends are actually really proud of you because of how disciplined, but also how fun and how knowledgeable and expansive and inspiring and optimistic. The 9th house is also somebody who's optimistic and just has so much to share and is one of those genuinely like you're one of those genuinely really solid people that once you have friends, those friends just, they love you. They never once think about like turning their back on you. They're just, they they're quite proud to have you as a friend, and they also might brag about you at times. Like I'm hearing like your friends even brag about you because they're like, oh, my friend, like they're super successful in this, they've done this with their life, they've done that. Like you're just that type of person that people like to, they like the fact that they know you. And you're going to notice this a lot more developing even as you get older, because again, like it's your life experiences and things like that. And again, you might feel like there's more for you to achieve, there's more for you to accomplish, but when it comes to how other people see you, they're looking at you and they're like, dang, this is like my most accomplished friend. Look at how much they've done in their life. And you know, other people really see you that way. But I'm feeling because of this Queen of Pentacles reverse that sometimes you don't see yourself that way, but that's what makes you such a high achiever. That's literally what has made you such a high achiever, is because your standards are so different than your average person. So let's see what else we get here for you, all about who you truly are deep down inside. And yeah, I do feel like you have such a wide array of interests. And I'm also getting that people really like being around you because you're so fun and also funny. You enjoy so many different types of things. It's almost like people could throw you into almost any environment and you know how to have fun there. You know how to have fun there. You're also very respectable, and people really love that about you too. You're very respectable. You're a very honorable, respectable person. You enjoy truth. You are more like grounded. When people ask you for the truth, you're here to tell it, right? I also do think that you're quite compassionate too, which people really appreciate as well, which is also what makes you so respectable. And yeah, we have another card talking about communication here. Oh, even like two. People trust you. Who you really are is somebody who tells it like it is. You're not here to like fluff people's boats. You enjoy honesty. It's something that I feel like is really important to you. So people actually really trust coming to you for advice, for learning. People love listening to what you have to say. And you are a natural born leader, especially when it comes to being a teacher, especially when it comes to imparting advice for other people. Because I also feel like you're really respectable of other people's boundaries too. Like you're not just somebody who's gonna go try to change somebody else. You're really respectable about boundaries. And that's why people also really trust you to just, you know, have fun with you, be around you, but then also to trust you with their deepest life questions. You're also somebody who asks deep questions, which is why you know so much. So you're also somebody who's constantly seeking more information, more truth, more deeper types of things. You ask bigger questions in life than your average person. You're more philosophical than your average person. In fact, I feel like you're a bookworm, or at least you like to learn. However that might show up for you in your life, you really like to learn because you like asking the big questions in life. And I also feel like that's what's rounded you into such a solid person, because you've asked those big questions in life. So let's see what else. Woo! We had so many cards coming out there. We also have the Creatrix coming out, and then we're also gonna get some more cards, but let me just pick these up here for a second. That was just my terrible shuffling at that point. But yes, so Creatrix is somebody who's also very creative, and even we can see it's like a mother and a child here. So I wouldn't be surprised if some of you as well, like who you are, you're a natural nurturer and somebody who naturally is creative. And perhaps some of you are meant to be parents this lifetime. Anytime that I see like children on a card, it automatically makes me think like some of you who are watching this, like you're kind of meant to be a parent. So yeah, we also have birth your own creations, womb energy. So another aspect of who you are is somebody who's so creative with a lot of creative ideas. When people feel blocked or stuck, I feel like you're so innovative when it comes to like giving other people ideas like hey, what if you tried this? What if you did that? You're so expansive and so optimistic. And people really enjoy that about you, because in life, when other people feel stuck, it's like you are such a visionary and you just see a way. And you're so knowledgeable too that you kind of just see more than your average person. We also have manifest magic. So another aspect of you is you might be a natural manifester. You might even be inclined to learn about manifestation this lifetime, or you just might be a natural manifester where anytime that you want something, you create a plan to get it. And nothing's really impossible for you. I feel like you felt from a young age that nothing's really impossible. And when it came to your bigger visions, right? When it came to the things that you wanted to create, you're like, I can do it. And maybe you felt that from a young age, and maybe other people were like, no, you're just such a dreamer, like you need to be more practical. But the interesting thing is like, you do have a very practical side of you. You do have a very solid, practical side, but being in the 9th house, you're also very expansive and very creative, and you don't like to limit yourself. You like to push past limitations, where most people would say like, stop dreaming about that or stop doing that. You're more, you like to push past. So that is what we have coming up there. And that is what we have. That's all about who you are. And let's go ahead and get any last cards here. Oh, actually, I forgot to take out our archetype card for you. So let's see your archetype card really quickly, and then we're going to get into Spirit's last messages for you, just anything that Spirit wants to say afterwards. So your archetype card, we have the dilettante. So delights in the arts without having to be a professional. However, you do have a very professional quality about you, but you might even be somebody who delights in a lot of different things, and maybe you have one big major thing that you are a professional in, but you also have so many other interests, right? And then alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So one thing I feel about you is you do have this very like practical sense where you might actually be, again, a little bit hard on yourself. Like I feel like in this card, there is this tendency to be a little bit hard on yourself because you're so wise, it's almost like you know how much you don't know. Does that make sense? And I feel like that's what makes you such a deep pursuer of more knowledge. And I also feel like you have so many gifts where it's like you're able to really teach people almost about anything, but at the same time, you're very humble. Like in the dilettante card, I feel like you're very humble while you also know a lot, and you know a lot of different things. But then again, you're also so humble, and you're like a forever learner, but also such an amazing teacher because of that. So let's go ahead and see any last messages. Ooh, that card really wants to come out. Any last messages from Spirit for you? Maybe anything that Spirit just wants you to know at this time. Let's see. So we also have pay attention. So if you ever zoned out, Spirit wants you to pay attention. And then if you fall, will it all fall apart? So maybe this is a message to not be so hard on yourself, because it's not going to all fall apart. And then your last card, maintain your peace. Maintain your peace. Don't be so hard on yourself. So yeah, Spirit wanted to end you off with a message of don't be so hard on yourself, because who you really are deep down inside, like you're such a good person. Like you're such an honorable, humble person, but at the same time, so expansive and so like somebody who's, so expansive and so optimistic, and somebody who can really delve into further planes than most people, further ideas than most people. Like you have a really expansive mind in that way. So honor that expansive mind, honor yourself and who you are. And that is what we have for you. My group number 2 is all about who you truly are deep down inside. So thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 3s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so starting with your Astro Dice, let's see who you really are. So we have the North Node in Cancer in the second house. The second house is the house of our material world. The North Node is sort of like our destiny, our future, what we're moving towards, what we're striving towards. Cancer, it likes comforts. Cancer is also very like, ooh, I'm hearing something here that you might really like creating like a comfortable environment. Something that is very in tune with your soul is like making a beautiful space for yourself to exist, making a beautiful space for other people to exist. I feel like you have a knack for making things beautiful, making things aesthetic, making things comfortable, making things nice. Ooh, that's like a natural gift that you have, and you might really like to move things forward. You're a very forward-moving person with the North Node coming up as an aspect of who you are. You're a very forward thinker, forward mover. In fact, you might really inspire people in your life by motivating them. There's like a motivational aspect towards you, motivating people to be better, motivating yourself to climb higher, to strive higher, and achieve things like that. But since the second house is coming up too, and it's the house of our material world, it is making me feel like you have this aspect of yourself that really likes to be surrounded by beauty. You might really like to be surrounded by things that make you feel nice, and that might be tied to your purpose in some way. You might have a purpose where you like to beautify things, or you like to make things more aesthetic. You might like to make things more new. Ooh, I'm hearing the word renewal, new, because the North Node too, it moves into newness. It's not the old, it's the new. You like bringing about new energy, renewing things. So, ooh, when it comes to more about who you are, you like to refresh things, make them new, make them useful, all things like that. I also feel like you naturally, I don't know why I'm hearing this from Spirit, but Spirit is saying like you came here to be like a beacon of like what someone would want to strive towards, or at least the things that you create, at the very least, are things that, you know, people want. People want what you have to offer. People want what you have to give, because again, I feel like some of you might work in something where you beautify things, you renovate things, you renew things, you make things better, you make things more beautiful, you make things more aesthetic, you make environments more comfortable. Like that's your type of energy, and I feel like your purpose is really tied to doing something like that in your life. So let's see what else we get for you here. My group number 3 is more about who you are, who you came here to be. We also have the 4 of Pentacles, and it came up being reversed. You do not like lack. You came here to create more, especially materially. So another aspect of who you are is getting rid of insecurities. Part of your soul's mission and purpose this lifetime is to heal insecurities. Healing insecurities in other people, which you might do that through some sort of material thing. You might do it through some sort of service or offering, or something else that you're just good with, maybe even just motivating people. But you really came here to break through insecurities and create more confidence in yourself and in others. That's what you came here for. Like that is part of like who you are and what fulfills you on a soul level is, yeah, helping people and yourself heal from insecurity, and to also heal from lack. Because another thing that your soul came here for, I feel like you came here to experience a lot of the material world. So you might be drawn to certain things, such as like achieving higher income or achieving a certain environment, achieving a certain material goal. Like you might have certain things that you're drawn to experience materially this lifetime, because that's kind of what your soul wanted to experience this lifetime, is more of that. We also have King of Cups. So yeah, you are like the king or queen of beauty, aesthetics, making things emotionally feel really beautiful and really good. And that's why we have Cancer coming up. It's the emotional aspect of things. I feel like you emotionally feel good when you are surrounded by nice things. So yeah, you have that quality about you, is like you feel good when you're surrounded by nice things. So you might also have a knack for like organizing. You might have an eye for beauty that some people just might not have in the way that you do. Like you're really detail oriented. You pay attention to the details, whereas other people might overlook small details and you're like, no, that does not work. That throws off the balance, that throws off the vibe. You're really good at noticing those things and really good at fixing those. You have such, and it's almost like an intuition too. It's almost like you were born with that, right? Like this Cancer and King of Cups energy that I'm feeling is like, you just sense it, and you are able to visualize things. You're able to feel the energy of things, feel the vibe of things. And that's one of your gifts that you have, actually, is your ability to feel into like, ooh, that's right, or ooh, that's not right. We need to fix that. We need to make it better. We need to make it more, I don't know. You just have the eye. You know how this fits in your life. You know how this fits in your life. But you just have an eye for those types of things. And let's see what else we get for you. You would be like a really good like designer or artist or person who works in aesthetics or things like that. We also have the Sun card coming up for you. So you are also such a bright light. Naturally, you are very radiant. Naturally, you also take up the spotlight, whether you try to or not. But you might naturally kind of take up the spotlight in your life. This Sun energy is making me feel like you are naturally just a very radiant person. And I'm also hearing that, like, yeah, like you exude this type of energy that people are really drawn to. People are really magnetized towards you. They might even be magnetized towards your appearance, to be honest, because that's something that I feel intuitively coming through, is like people are really drawn to your appearance and your radiance. And you just make other people feel more confident too. So yeah, you are here to exude confidence, to exude radiance. We also have Temperance coming through for you as well. You have such a good eye for balance, and your soul likes balance. Your soul likes to feel balance. Your soul likes to mix things that, normally people would be like, does that even go with that? And you're like, oh, I know how to make it go. You know how to blend things in a way that other people do not know how to blend them. I also feel like you do this on a personal level too. It's like you're really good at getting along with others, blending to different environments. Also with Temperance too, I feel like you bring balance to people. Especially like emotionally. I feel like you're really good at helping other people balance their emotions. This is something that maybe you're learning in your lifetime how to master, is balancing yourself emotionally, which I feel like you are going to be a master of this lifetime. Yeah, and you just have this radiance. People are really called to your energy, really called to whatever you have to offer as well. You might get people questioning you a lot about like, how did you learn how to do this? How did you get this particular gift for this? I feel like you have a talent that really stands out. This is something I'm picking up from this, is you have a talent that really stands out, that other people really admire, and people are going to be talking about you and your talent. Like word of mouth, people are just going to be like, oh, did you hear of blah, blah, blah? Or, oh, you're looking to do that? Well, I know the perfect person to help you with that. Like people really like talking about your gifts. And there's one in particular that like really stands out. Like you have one particular gift that really, wow, people really know you for it. We also have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is being reversed. You are also here to create more fulfillment, because things that are missing, it's almost like you can feel it. You can tell when something's missing. You can tell when something's not complete. And you are so willing to take the journey to make it perfect, to be detail oriented. Things where people would leave it like, oh, that's good enough. You are kind of like, no. You actually might struggle with perfectionism because of this. I'm picking up that you might struggle with perfectionism because other areas of life where people might give up on something, or people might even just say like, oh, it's good enough, I'll just leave it the way it is. You're like, no, it's not perfect. It's not quite right. We need to make this perfect. You are detail oriented like that, and you are motivated by that. You don't have the same stopping point that most people do, because for you it's something that really matters. Making something quote unquote perfect is something that really matters to you. But I am hearing something, don't get too caught up in perfectionism, because then nothing ever gets complete. However, this is actually a gift. So something that Spirit wants you to know is that your perfectionism is actually one of your unique, most amazing gifts, because it makes you so much more detail oriented. And because of this, you're going to become much more of a skilled master at whatever path it is that you decide to go down. You're going to be so much more of a skilled master in that area. And this is why people will be talking about you. And this is why you're going to have a spotlight in whatever talent it is that you have, because you don't just leave things messy. You don't leave things unfinished. You don't leave things with a, oh, that's good enough type of energy. You are quite detail oriented and quite perfectionist with these things. And other people see that, and other people see that you actually really care about the final product, the final outcome of whatever it is that you do. People really see that you actually genuinely put love and effort and care and detail into what it is that you do. Therefore, I feel like you're actually going to be very successful in whatever path that you decide to go after. And people, like the reviews that you would get, the things that people would say to others about your work, about what it is that you do, about who you are, people have a lot of good things to say about that. They're like, oh, if you want the best of the best, go here. This is where you're going to get the best of the best, because this person does not half-ass things. This person, you know, they get things done. They get things done the right way. So that is another aspect about you that is coming through. And let's see what else we get here for you. My group threes, more about who you really are. Let's see. I also feel like you really came here to share this particular skill with the world. And I feel like this skill could take multiple forms for you, but the skill in general that you came here to show is how detail oriented you are and how amazing of a visionary you are. And you really came here to kind of share that with the world. We also have strategist coming through for you. Okay, so talking about the strategist while I try to get more cards here. The strategist is somebody who is very smart, somebody who gives great advice. People come seeking your wisdom, and I feel like people specifically come seeking your wisdom for this skill, but they also might come in general for like even just general advice. Like you're really good at motivating people. You're really good at getting people unstuck. Whenever somebody feels stuck, they love coming to you for your wisdom, for your advice, because you are like a master motivator. You are a master at helping people find their spark. You are so good at helping people find their direction. You might also be somebody who your direction is maybe very clear early on in life for some of you, especially with the North Node coming up. I feel like most of you who chose this pile, your direction was like decently clear from the get-go. And if it was confusing for you, realize that you're actually fulfilling your purpose already without you maybe even realizing it. But I do feel like most of you knew it pretty early on, to say the least. And let's see what else we have for you. We also have the seeker. So you're somebody who definitely likes learning more. I also feel like people really praise, we have the word appraise, but people also really praise what you do. Like they love learning from you. So that's really coming through here as well. Number 44 coming through, together that equals an 8, and it's an angel number as well. And when we have this, it is somebody who is also really good at making people feel safe, making people feel comfortable, making people feel stable. This is also a number of self-improvement, by the way. So you might also be somebody who's really into climbing higher, improving. And together, since it equals an 8, that is all about unlocking infinite potential. So this lifetime, you're also meant to go beyond what you might have thought was possible for you earlier in your life. You're meant to kind of break through and push through what you used to think was possible. You're meant to strive for more, and you're also meant to find ways of making things happen. Strategist is making me feel like you're a very intelligent person, and you're really good at finding a way to make things happen, especially with that North Node energy. It's like you're here to break through limitations, obstacles, scarcity, lack. You're meant to break through. You're meant to achieve more. Even if you didn't come from a lot growing up, you're meant to push past that barrier and find the ways, right? The seeker too. You're meant to find the ways of achieving higher and greater. So that's part of your purpose, and part of who you're meant to be and who you are deep down inside is somebody who is a seeker, somebody who is a natural motivator. And let's see, we also have growth. So yeah, personal growth, self-development, that's something that you're really into. I feel like you're going to go through a transformation this lifetime, and you're actually really meant to go through this transformation. You might have been somebody who was a small thinker before, or maybe you grew up in an environment that felt limiting. You were meant to transpire out of that. You were meant to become a butterfly and go through your own metamorphosis to climb higher than what you previously thought was possible. And then we also have the collective. You're here to uplift others. Part of who you are is you're a natural uplifter. And you naturally inspire other people. You also might be someone who naturally, part of your soul is, you're meant to connect and uplift like the world or the people that you work with, the people that you connect with. I also feel like friendships are going to be really important to you this lifetime, and the people that you touch with your work, the people who you uplift through your words, through your wisdom, through your creativity, through whatever means that you have in your life, you're really meant to uplift those people, and you're like a natural source of inspiration. And let's go ahead and see what else we get for you. We're going to pull out an archetype card here. And let's see. Oh, we have the mother archetype showing up for you. This is so interesting because I feel like all these piles so far have had like a mother, father, child kind of archetype showing up, which is so interesting because whenever that shows up, children, pregnancies, mothers, fathers can all represent a multitude of different things. They, for one, can represent the birth of an idea, the creation of an idea, the manifestation of something in this world, but they can also literally represent being a parent, being like a mother or father or, So for one, those of you who chose this, part of who you are might naturally be a nurturer, might naturally be somebody who's here to help others grow, who's also here to take an idea and birth it to life. So that's one aspect of this, but again, it can also be taken on a literal level. Some of you might be really inclined at some point in your life to create life, to create children, and to be a parent. That might be another aspect that might come up for you. If that's like totally out of the question, then of course, obviously this is a general reading, so I like to point out all the different options that come through here, but it looks like for a lot of people, being some form of parent or some sort of creator is a big theme coming through. So yeah, the light attributes is nurturance, patience, unconditional love, and joy in giving birth to life. So you might have a total joy of taking an idea and bringing it to life. And there also is an attribute of you of unconditional love. Just like a mother has unconditional love for her child, I feel like you're a natural person who has unconditional love for people in general. Like I feel like you're somebody who, when you see other people, you don't really have like this animosity or judgment. I feel like you're actually somebody who, when you see other people, it's almost like you can see their inner soul and their inner light. You can see their potential. And I feel like that's what makes you into such a beautiful person, is because you have that unconditional love for people, for society, for the world. And I feel like you see things in that beautiful way. There's something about you. You have a beautiful lens to your eyes. That's also why you're so good at creating aesthetics and beauty in the world, is because you naturally have a lens for beauty. You naturally have a lens for unconditional love. And yeah, that's something that's really beautiful about you. And also what would make you a really good parent as well, if you feel called to that. Let's see what else we get for you. Any last messages from Spirit? I feel like we already got all of our cards based on that one shuffle. So we have, what would your higher self say to you? I feel like your higher self has a message for you. What would they say to you? By the way, you're always connected to your higher self. So when you ask yourself this question and then you tap into, okay, if I was my higher self right now, what advice would I have for myself? What would I say to myself? Realize that you actually have that connection within you, and you can ask that question and gain that insight. So what would your higher self say to you? Then we also have, let go of the anger, move into acceptance. That might be an important message for some of you right now. And then our last little piece of advice from Spirit meant to find you today is, do not worry about where you have been or where you're going. Focus on the present you right now. Who are you right now? So don't focus on where you might be going right now. Focus on who you are right now, because sometimes we worry about the future and sometimes we worry about the past. But the only way in which we can actually accurately predict our future is by creating it. In fact, we can accurately predict our future whether we choose to create it or not, because if we're not choosing to create it, it's going to be kind of like a repetition of whatever it is that we focus on. But if you really want to know your future so that you don't have to worry about it, so that you don't have to worry about where you've been or worry about where you're going, step into the ultimate creator's seat. And you'll never have to worry about where you're going, because you're going to be creating where you're going. You're going to know where you're going. So that's another thing coming through, and I feel like that was meant to come for you because of that North Node energy too, which is all about where you're going in life. You're going to amazing places. You're going to beautiful places. You have a beautiful gift to share to this world, and that is all about who you are. You are a radiant being, and you feel your best when you are being radiant. You feel your best when you're stepping into your confidence. You feel your best when you honor balance and flow in your life, and when you honor beauty, and when you honor the fact that you love to be in a beautiful, harmonious environment. That is something that I feel like makes you feel balanced. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel amazing. So doing more of those things, getting rid of insecurities, like this is all your purpose. This is going to be where you thrive. And so this is your soul and who you are internally. So thank you so much for joining me here, my beautiful group number 3s. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye. All right, my group number 4s, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so beginning with your Astro Dice, let's see my group number 4 is about who you are. Okay, so we have Saturn. Ooh, a lot of people got Saturn. I feel like Saturn came up at least once before in this reading. Anyway, that's besides the point. Saturn in Sagittarius in the 3rd house. So naturally, Sagittarius and the 3rd house together are representative of somebody who is like a little bit more extroverted and somebody who naturally you love to learn, you love to get to know people, you love to communicate. And Saturn is like somebody who's naturally reliable, naturally stable, but yet there's another aspect about you that's very free. So there's an interesting balance between stability, but then also like total unleashed freedom, exploration, curiosity. You are a naturally really curious person. You are naturally a person who likes to learn, who likes to talk to others, who likes to network, communicate, experience life. Like you're a natural experiencer. Experiencer. You came here to experience life, to explore, to journey, to have fun. And part of who you are is you are naturally a really good communicator, and you're really good at like pretty much you could put you in any environment. You are going to thrive. You are going to find a way to have fun. You are going to find a way to connect and find your path. You have a very happy kind of spirit that people really enjoy being around. Like I feel like you're funny. Even if you don't even know that you are or think that you are, other people find you funny and fun and interesting. I feel like you are somebody who brings life and vibrancy out into the world. So, for example, if you like got together with a friend and they were really bored, you have a million ideas of what there is to do. Your brain is so creative when it comes to just like fun ideas and knowing how to make things interesting, knowing how to make things exciting. Like you bring excitement into the world. And there's also a part of you that's so like solid as well because of the Saturn energy. The Saturn energy too can indicate that we have this like secure energy that we also bring with us. And people who really get to know you feel this sense of like groundedness, but at the same time, it's married with this excitement, this exploration, this fun. Like you're a naturally really fun person. And let's see what else we get for you, my group 4s. What else do we have for my group 4s? All about who you are. We have the, we have a lot of cards. Let's go with it. Let's see what we have here. So we have the Queen of Pentacles and we also have the World. You are a natural explorer, that is for sure. And you do also bring this sense of like grounded stability. And maybe it's not as much there when you're young, but it's there as you get older. It's like this grounded stability, but this ability to still have fun and be like such a light, such a beacon of light for other people to be around. People really enjoy being around you. The Queen of Pentacles too is somebody who's naturally good at nurturing, who's really good at balancing all aspects of life. So you might also notice that as you get older too, like you are quite responsible. And again, this might be something that comes as you get older because also with Saturn, it kind of develops more with age. Queen of Pentacles is somebody who develops more as they get older. And I feel like you have this such a fun energy, but as you get older, it also gets more like mature and balanced and things like that. We also have the Nine of Pentacles coming through as well. You might be somebody who naturally strives towards success, who strives towards having a reliable environment. Nine of Pentacles too is somebody who brings this essence of abundance. And I feel like your soul has this essence of abundance. It's like you have an abundant amount of joy, an abundant amount of like humor, an abundant amount of light to kind of share with others. We also have Strength being reversed. I feel like you're a naturally very strong and wise person, and you've had to overcome impulses early on in your life. You've had to overcome like, impulses and things like that. And you've probably had to learn how to call upon like deep strength. I feel like you're also someone who naturally is learning how internally powerful that you truly are. And maybe at times you've questioned that power and maybe thought that you weren't as powerful, but I think that you're waking up to realizing how powerful that you actually are and really calling your power back into your own hands. We also have Three of Cups. So yeah, definitely there's like an extroverted quality to you where there's this joy of socializing, this joy of being around others, this joy of bringing fun and happiness to other people's lives. We also have Eight of Cups as well. You also find joy in seeking fulfillment, and you're not scared of going on a journey in order to find more fulfillment. You're not scared of exploring what really fulfills you. And I feel like part of your purpose this lifetime is to explore that. And I'm also getting that some of you might be inclined to have a career that brings joy to people. It brings a smile on people's face. There's some sort of career that you're going to be inclined to work on where it's like, it's either social or it's entertaining, or it's like a career where like you can celebrate, or there's like a good community there. But I feel like you're somebody who needs a good community, and you're somebody who naturally people gravitate towards you, and you kind of are the person that holds the community together because of how amazing you are at making connections, how good you are at connecting to other people, uplifting other people. You're kind of like the rock that like keeps people together, keeps people socializing, keeps people engaged and connected. You're sort of like that string that strings everybody together. And that's really one of your most powerful gifts of who you are, is like just such a good communicator and such a good grounding piece that just, again, threads people together and keeps them connected. And let's see what else we get for you here, my group fours. Part of your purpose this lifetime might be networking and making important connections. That might be part of your purpose in some way. We also have Enchanter, and we also have Spirit. So renew, detox, purify, and cleanse. I think you're meant to learn how to cleanse in this lifetime as well. And who you really are, I feel like you are naturally like really good spirit, and you uplift people's spirits. You literally uplift people's spirits. Angel number 11 coming through too. That's beautiful. You naturally are like an uplifter of spirit. We also have Enchanter, Magnetize, Open, Reveal, Manifester. People really enjoy being around you because you have this enchanting quality about you. People love to communicate with you. People find you very interesting. When people meet you, they're like, whoa, you're like unlike most people. You're really different. You're different in the sense that you're so communicative. You're so open. There's something so magnetizing about that because there's this confidence that it exudes. And whether you recognize that or feel that or not, other people feel it. They see the confidence that you exude, and I feel like it's really inspiring for other people to see. And it's almost like you really draw people in because of that confidence, because of that really good social skills that you have, really good people skills that you have. And let's see what else we get for you here. My group 4s. So we also have compassion. I feel like people really enjoy talking to you because you're a very compassionate person. Like you can really relate to others and feel their feelings, and the way that you communicate, people really enjoy it. I feel like you're also a very compassionate soul. Like you're a really kind soul. You have good intentions too. And let's see, we also have mindset. So another thing about you too is that people are really inspired by your outgoing like personality. I feel like you have a very outgoing energy and an outgoing mindset, and people are very inspired by that. You seem to magnetize opportunities. You seem to magnetize the things that you want to you. At least that's what other people see, even if you don't see that. But other people see you and they're like, wow, you just seem to magnetize what it is that you want. You seem to magnetize opportunities to you. And people might come to you asking you, how do you always magnetize what you want? How do you always seem to get what you want? How do you go and like have a conversation and then all of a sudden you just have what you desire? You get the outcome that you want. Like you're really good at doing that. And other people are not as talented at that. And I feel like they really would like to learn from you. And they're really inspired by that aspect of you. And also I feel like you have a very like amazing friendliness about you. You might even be somebody who ends up desiring to travel a lot or explore a lot. And people are going to be really interested in you because of that. Like we have the World and Sagittarius and the 3rd house that popped up here. Like I really feel that you might travel a lot in your lifetime, or at least you're really good at just connecting to people from all walks of life. From any culture, from any background, from any upbringing, from any value system. Like you're really good at connecting to people from pretty much any walk of life. And you're naturally here to kind of, again, bring people together in a new and deep kind of way. So, okay, let's see what archetype card we get for you here. All right, we have the Queen archetype popping up for you. I'm actually not even surprised. So we have King Queen energy popping up. So the Queen, the light attributes is radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. People really look up to you as the person who's going to be outspoken, the person who's going to stand up for others. When it comes to the people who are important to you, you are completely willing to, stand up for them, to be their voice, because you are so good with your voice, you're so good with your expression that you are really protective of others, and people feel very protected by you. When it comes to your friends or close people just opening up about their issues or what they need help with or anything that they're going through, you are such an advocate for them. You are such an amazing friend for helping uplift them, helping them step into their power. And you sometimes just stand as the powerhouse for those people as well. And you're such an authority figure too. Like people really look up to you because you have this leadership and authority energy about you and this type of confidence that people really admire. It's such a confidence, like you really own who you are. And people are drawn to that. They really love that about you. You have a mindset that's really resilient, I feel like. And at least from an external perspective, people see like it's really resilient. You're not like overly sensitive by any means. You are just really resilient, really strong. You have this like very stable energy and foundation about you and this power. Like, people don't want to mess with you, my group 4s. People do not want to mess with you. You do not come across as sensitive or mess with worthy, like, not at all. You have this essence of power, this strength, this stability, and you kind of almost demand respect when you walk into a room. That's also that Saturn energy too. You have this ability to kind of like come with this essence of like respect, and come with this essence of power, and come with this essence of strength that is really admirable. So let's see any last cards that Spirit wants to leave us off with. These are actually like Oracle Wisdom cards, and so let's just see if Spirit has any messages for you to end off today's reading. But that is your energy. It's like very strong and very admirable and very respectable. So let's see. Here are our last cards for you. So we have take a breath and try again. So when it comes to things that we might fail at, things that we might not be good at on the first try, take a breath, try again. Anything that we might fail at, take a breath, try again. Then we also have the card of embrace uncertainty. I feel like you are somebody who naturally does that. And you're naturally a good motivator for others too. And then we also have destruction is the way to transformation. I feel like you are somebody who, by the way, is not afraid to ruin something or like destroy. These are really intense words, but destroy something that is no longer serving you. You are so ready to say no, to end things that are no longer serving you, which is another one of your very admirable qualities, is because you're so willing to like break down structures, break down things that again are needing to transform, things that are no longer serving you, things that are not good for you, things that are not healthy for you. You're also so good at helping others see what is standing in their way, and you're really good at motivating others and empowering others to break through things that are no longer serving them. Like, for example, if you have a friend and the person that they're dating isn't treating them right, you are so great at motivating them to be like, oh my goodness, you deserve more. It's time to get out of that. It is time to break that. It is time to completely leave that behind. Like, you are so good at that. Whereas other people might have a bit more patience with those types of things, and they might, allow themselves to get walked over and all of that. And you're just not about that at all. You are much more willing to put things in their place, move past things, and really like, you have that strong sturdiness about you. You have that internal empowerment, and it really helps empower other people as well. So that is all about who you are and what we got for you in today's reading. Thank you so much for joining me here today at my group number 4s. I'm sending you all so much love, and it's no wonder I put Citrine on your group, because Citrine's all about confidence, and you are like the natural embodiment of confidence, by the way. So that's no wonder. What an interesting coincidence. Just wanted to point that out. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me here. I'm sending you so much love, and until next time, bye.